Welcome to 5 Good Minutes.
You're listening to today's inspirational message on the book of 2 Thessalonians
with Kurt Bjorklund.
So 2 Thessalonians 3 has this exhortation that we talked about yesterday about not being that person who's idle and disruptive. But there's another word that's repeated or idea that's repeated in this same section. Verse 7, for you yourselves know how you ought to follow our example. And the word example here is a word that has the idea of to mimic or to emulate or to follow. And then you read through a couple more verses, you get to verse 9. We did this not because we do not have the right for such help, but in order to offer ourselves as a model for you to imitate. And here again, same word, to imitate. So example in verse 7, imitate in verse 9. And then the word model here is a word that means a type, like a cast, a thing that molds something. So taken together, what this is saying is one, there's people you should be able to look to in the community of faith who are ahead of you, who are a model for you to follow. And then secondly, that you should look to be basically a model for other people. I remember when my wife and I first came to Orchard Hill, we had very young children, and there was a woman and her husband who had older kids, adult age kids. And I remember talking with her one day and just saying, well, what did you do? How did you do what you did? And she just said something really simple. She said, all we tried to do was ask them questions day in, day out about why they made the choices they did, how they thought about it. And she said, I didn't try to answer the questions. I tried to ask enough questions to get them to answer their own questions. And it was one of those moments where I had seen the impact because her kids were just thriving and seemed to love the Lord and the right things. And I heard that and I thought, I want to be a parent like she and that man were parents. And they became examples for me to imitate. Older believers being examples to younger believers. And so my question really is simple today, and that is, who do you look to? Maybe you're close to them, maybe they're distant, and you say, they're an example for me. They're a model. I want to have faith like that. I want to have a life like that. I want to have a marriage like that. I want to be a parent like that. I want to be joyful like that. And then, is your life the kind of life that other people are looking at and saying, I would imitate that. I would enjoy becoming who they are. And if you can't say, imitate us, or my life is a model for you to imitate, what changes would you need to make to be able to say that with a sense of confidence, to say, yeah, this is the life that I really am wanting to lead and show others who and how to respond to Jesus. It says in verse 12, such people we command and urge the Lord Jesus to settle down and earn the food they eat. This time about the idle and disruptive again. As for you, brothers and sisters, verse 13, never tire of doing good. And we're going to talk about that verse tomorrow. But just right now, the never tire of doing good is a way of saying, in essence, that this is the call, that you shouldn't lose heart at doing the right thing when God has invited you to follow him.
Thanks for joining us here today. There's a lot of great content to explore on Orchard Hill Plus and on the Orchard Hill main feed from the weekend. Have a great day.